The Destiny 2 Prestige Raid will be available later today on PS4 and Xbox One. Here's everything you need to know, including the release date, UK time, what gear, rewards and loot you can earn, as well as what Bungie did about that cheese exploit. Bungie Destiny 2 Prestige Raid Countdown. Release date, UK time, gear, rewards, loot, cheese fix. Destiny Prestige Raid Update 2. We're less than 2 hours away from the start of the Destiny Prestige Raid, and if you're a Guardians who enjoys playing the hardest endgame content Destiny 2 has to offer, then no doubt you will also attempt the game's weekly Nightfall Strike. Well, Bungie Help has just announced that they've changed this week's Nightfall Strike following the discovery of a problem with this week's chosen Nightfall Strike. To mitigate issues encountered by players in the Exodus Crash Nightfall Strike, this week's Nightfall has been changed to Pyramidion. A tweet posted by the Bungie Help Twitter account reads, "If you've got time to kill before the start of the Prestige Raid, this might be something Guardians and their fire team can complete before taking on Callus and the Leviathan Raid. Take a look at some of the leaked Destiny 2 Prestige Raid gear you will be able to obtain." Destiny Prestige Raid Update 1. With under 5 hours to go, Destiny players are already beginning to speculate how Bungie might have tweaked the Leviathan Raid to meet the game's new Prestige difficulty. We already know that they want lock loadouts for the raid, as director Luke Smith has previously said there will not be locked loadouts on raids because they don't want players to get a great piece of equipment from a chest and not be able to equip it right away. Some theories from the game's player base on Reddit believe that the gardens could contain more dogs, or that the existing dogs might need to be removed in a certain order. Friend of mine had a theory that Callus DPS phase will go in the order of the plate Scion's Punch during the call-out Shadow Realm phase, which I thought was interesting, replied another Destiny 2 player. Full speculation on how Bungie might look to tweak the Leviathan Raid can be found here. Reddit.com or Destiny the game related articles. Original story. Destiny 2 fans don't have long to wait until they can group up in their fire team and take on the most difficult challenge the game has to offer, the Leviathan Raid on the Prestige difficulty level. For those that don't know, the Prestige Raid is basically the hardest version of the Leviathan Raid introduced after the game's initial Destiny 2 launch. Bungie delayed the start of the Prestige Raid after discovering an exploit, but in this week at Bungie blog post, the developers admitted they couldn't wait any longer to get the hardest endgame content into the hands of Guardians on PS4 and Xbox One. "We don't want to make you wait any longer to experience what the Raid team has cooked up for those of you who enjoy a challenge worthy of your talents." As mentioned previously, it's not clear how Bungie will tweak the Leviathan Raid for the Prestige, but players expect something more than just a higher difficulty, and reading the past Bungie blog, that's exactly what it sounds like Bungie has in store. You do not expect everyone to be successful in completing this activity. Mechanical changes to the encounters are minimal, but they are there. The Prestige Raid is about mastering a more punishing sandbox. Our goal is not to provide a boon to your character progression, but there are unique rewards to help you shine. Consider this your invitation to prove to the world that you are among the very best of the raiders who overlook the city. World first will be counted. We can tell you no more. Keep reading for everything you need to know, including when the raid starts, what gear, rewards and loot you can earn, as well as how to cheese the Prestige Raid. Destiny 2 Prestige Raid release date and UK time. Having initially promised that the Destiny 2 Leviathan Raid Prestige difficulty would be available last week, Bungie are finally ready to release the game's hardest endgame content. This new mode will be released later today, Wednesday the 18th of October, and should be available to Guardians at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 6 p.m. British Summer Time for anyone in the UK. Bungie Help have yet to specify if they'll need to do anything with the game, but should you fail to see the Prestige level difficulty for the raid at 6 p.m. or just after, it might be that you're required to log out and log back in again. Here's a rundown of everything which resets in Destiny 2 following the Tuesday weekly reset. Bungie Guardians will be able to claim new gear, rewards and loot from the Prestige Raid, and in fact you can already see a lot of the loot now. Some weeks back, another Destiny fan on Reddit shared some screenshots of the gear which had leaked early. The gear is practically identical, except for, well, gold. All the gold. Sadly, there does not appear to be any raid-specific perks added to the gear, or they haven't yet been added to the database. You can take a look at the new raid gear in the gallery above. However, it's also worth noting that Bungie could also have something in store regarding raid challenges. What are raid challenges? This isn't clear just yet, but was mentioned by Bungie in the this week at Bungie blog post, which read, "This isn't the only upcoming raid news. We will be back next week to tell you about raid challenges that have been designed to make you rethink familiar encounters." It's possible that these raid challenges could set Guardians certain tasks to complete during the raid, and as such, there could be additional gear, loot and rewards on offer for doing so. We're betting some sort of token will be involved. Bungie has pretty much admitted that the current prestige raid can be cheesed. If that terminology means nothing to you, it's basically code. Cheesing in a game is usually a strategy almost anyone can use to almost guarantee victory or some sort of shortcut. So in short, exploiting a boss and ignoring actual strategy to complete the mission in the easiest and quickest way possible. Bungie had admitted previously that the reason for the delay in releasing the Prestige raid was to do with an exploit they'd found, which might otherwise prevent them from crowning a fireteam as the first team to complete the Prestige raid. However, last Friday they claimed that they couldn't fix the exploit, but found a way to identify it. One thing we did accomplish as part of our investigation was the creation of a way to verify a clean finish, claimed the Bungie team. We can now detect if any teams use this exploit to gain an advantage. This will take some extra time to verify, but we will be able to crown the winners with the confidence they deserve. A safe fix is still being investigated for this issue. Our current plan is to deploy it as part of a future update. We'll give you more details before it's ready to go. So, it is possible to cheese the Prestige raid in Destiny 2, but should you do so, Bungie won't be including your run in consideration for the first team to complete the Prestige raid. Related articles.